The Supreme Court may strike down grace periods for all types of mail-in voting. And it all comes down to one question. What is Election Day? Today, the court heard oral arguments on Watson v. Republican National Committee. So here's what's in it and how they're likely to vote. I'm thinking of calling this series Elite Ball Knowledge because of courts. So if you have any thoughts, let me know. The lawsuit challenges a Mississippi law that allows for mail-in ballots to be counted up to 5 days after an election, as long as they're postmarked by Election Day. The argument basically boils down to what is Election Day. The Republican National Committee and the Trump administration argue that the Mississippi law violates federal statute that requires a uniform Election Day. They say that the ballots must be received by Election Day, not just postmarked. They actually argued separately because, unlike the RNC, the Trump administration believed that there should be an exception for military personnel. On the other side, the Mississippi Solicitor General, who, believe it or not, was the person who argued for Dobbs that struck down Roe v. Wade, argues that Congress did not intend to mandate a deadline, but rather that Congress has deferred to states in matters like this, like they had in the Uniformed and Overseas Citizens Absentee Voting Act. This was to accommodate military members and people living abroad. They also point to long-standing historical precedent for grace periods for voting. Important to note that Congress has the power to make these deadlines, they just argue that they haven't. The court's ruling could overturn grace periods in nearly 30 states and potentially invalidate hundreds of thousands of mail-in ballots, which affects voters from all sides of the political aisle, including military personnel and rural voters. Interestingly, legal reporters are divided on how the court's going to end up voting. Some reporters at the NYTimes anticipate a 6-3 split along partisan lines. However, Vox predicts a 5-4 split, actually protecting the law. While conservative justices Thomas, Alito, Gorsuch, and Kavanaugh seemed pretty set to vote against the law, Barrett and Roberts seemed a little bit more open to protecting it. The decision will be likely announced in late June or early July. Thanks for watching.